Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for having a look at the video today. We're continuing on with that Scud launcher, Scud-B launcher for the Iraq Army build that we're doing for the Gulf War, 1990-91 Gulf War. And if you don't look at the first video, the products we're building is here is W60 Scud-B launcher. And that's this guy here. And for some command and control, we're just going to do some Soviet medium trucks, W47 order number, and they're just the Soviet medium trucks. So the first thing I do before, well, this is like the, I guess the assembly of it, but I'll just get these parts out here. I just normally leave them in the tray till I'm ready to go into that pack. First thing I do is just clean them up. So bring up the Scud launcher and I have a look around, see if there's any flashing or anything that needs to be tidied up across the model. And these models, the TEL, which is a transporter erector launcher, so the missile carrier, is in really good nick. There's no real flashing on there I need to tidy up. It's more on these trucks. So if I have a look here, obviously across the front bumpers there, we just need to cut all this flashing off. So there's a couple of ways to do it, either with sprue snips or just a hobby knife. And if it's with a hobby knife, I'll just sort of get it flat and then just cut the excess off there. Or if it's with the sprue snips, snip it off. And then just straighten out that bumper a bit. I'll just go around, have a look. Some spots you can just get in with the file and just file off a few little pieces if you find it there. Sticking out, there's a little bit of flashing. And then all I do is just check the top half, so the upper, so it's sort of upper and a lower. Have a look around, make sure it looks all right, and then I just test fit, and they're pretty easy to go together. And then once I've test fitted those trucks, I'm just using a generic store-bought super glue, nothing fancy, not a hobby glue or craft glue or anything. It's just a super glue you buy from a supermarket, and I'll just put a bit through here. And just join them together. Remember, this is a pewter mix, so it's pretty soft. It's going to bend a bit to get it together. And once I've got that together, I'll just move it out of the shot, or just the top of the shot there. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Just check that upper section, have a look for any flashing I want to tidy up, and they're actually really clean. Same again with this one, the lower. You can see there's some extra flashing on it there, so just snip that off. Just straighten out this front bumper a bit. I mean, a lot of the times they were bent if you see one in a museum or something. And then just go around it, make sure there's no flashing on there where we want to join the upper and lower. Same thing, bit of super glue just through the center there. Get them together, married up. And I'll just put that one down as well. Then with the actual missiles, I'll have a look, make sure they look all right. And they have a hole in the back here. You can see there, just a little recess. And that marries up with this section. And we'll talk about that now. So there's a little bit of flashing on these. I'll just go across the file, tidy up any areas. Now when this sits on the actual tail itself, it lines up like that. So you can see there's like sort of some hydraulic rams that are just along the side here. Yeah, of course it's going to be out of focus. Just along here, there's some hydraulic rams. I'll get a toothpick. And what I'm talking about is this section just here. And this little bit that protrudes out, that lines up with the back of the missile. It sits in there like that. So that's the first section we're going to glue together. Just put a little bit of glue on the back here. And then line that up. And I'll just hold that for a second, let it bond. Now we know this goes in like that because I've got a picture here. I've printed off a picture of the model. You can see at the back here, we're just looking at this back section. That's that there. So this hydraulic ram, and the bottom is this section here. So we know that's the bottom of our missile. And then that will sit inside the launcher, inside the carrier, sorry, like that. And that back lines up. Then the two spare missiles we'll paint and have them as spares. We might make a little diorama at some stage for them, or a little gaming sort of like an objective or something. So, and then the last part we have, which is this top bracket which sits across it. It actually sits on the missile. And you see here on the carrier, just here on both sides, there's a little raised section, and that sits on there like that. So what I do is actually glue this small piece to one of these missiles. So let's put a little bit of glue, just a drop on that missile, and then all I'm doing with this little piece, sorry it's between my fingers, I'm just placing that on top of that launcher, on the top of that missile. And what I'll do is, so you can pull them apart now, so that's lined up. I only put it in there just to line it up to where it needs to be joined. And I'll come back to that photo. You can see here where that top section is. That's the bit we just glued on. So once I've done that, that's our assembly done. So it's quite quick, quite easy. It's just cleaning up a bit of flashing, get them together. Next thing I'll do is I get a craft stick or a paddle pop stick, and I'll mount the launcher and the carrier. I'll mount everything onto the paddle pop stick, and I'll just take that out of the shot and bring one in that I've done, because we've got one here. So I've just used some double-sided tape to put them down, and then just put the trucks and the tail itself just on the paddle pop stick. So we'll spray them like that. So I'll get the ones we just did then, I'll get them all mounted up on this paddle pop stick, just like the ones at the back there. And then next video we'll get them primed. I'll prime one off camera and then prime the other one on the camera, and then after we've primed, we'll get that initial paint color on it for that desert look. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.